Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Max&JuanCast. We back at it. We reunited up in this bitch. Uh welcome to the show, Max.
I think I got my internet back. Hold up.
well,
Fuck Spectrum.
you were sick the last time they saw us. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There
you're
was,
back
yeah.
healthy. You're
Yeah.
back healthy, and you got internet now.
I got my internet back. And Juan was the last Juan was showing me something we got in the lab. 1 minute in, he's like, bro, I think and I didn't have internet for 4 fucking days. Shout out to Spectrum. Y'all suck. I don't understand. But you know what? When we're reunited, it feels so good. The only thing that feels better is probably if you're a Warrior fan.
3-2, dog. Look, me and you haven't talked in a minute for the finals. When's the last time we talked? After what, game 2?
Game 2? Yeah.
Man, so it's been a minute. So we've seen 3, 4, and 5 tonight. We're doing this late night pod right after game 5. And Steph Curry did not hit a single 3 tonight, Max.
Well, let me just put it like this. If I told you as a Celtic fan, hey, there's going to be a game where Steph Curry doesn't make a 3, you're going to be like, sounds great. Sounds like we're going to win that game. And what if I said, hey, there's going to be a game where Andrew Wighins takes 23 shots and Curry doesn't take that many? Sounds great. You're going to make 7 more threes than the Warriors. Or so you're going to make more threes than the Warriors. This all sounds great, but you lose the game. That's what's crazy to me. It's like Curry has 16 points, doesn't shoot the ball well at all, and they still get the dub.
I mean, Curry has been dominating this series. I mean, he heard you, Max. He heard you loud and clear in our preview. He said, all right, bet. I don't got no finals moment. I ain't good in the finals. I don't show up. We shall see. And I mean, dude, game 4. I just want to go a little bit on that. Legendary performance, bro. It was absolutely amazing. I thought it was just one of those performances that legendary players have. Like,
so you think it's in like the upper echelon of final performances, or it's like just really, really good?
No, most definitely finals performances. I know it wasn't his career high in the finals game.
No, I'm just saying, like, is it like a LeBron versus the Warriors type performance? I don't know if it's that, but it's definitely his moment where it was like, damn.
I think so, Max. I think it's a legendary moment. I think it was just a reminder on why this guy is so great, and he's a top 10 player of all time. And I thought he imposed his will the way that Steph Curry would impose his will on a team. You've seen it last year with Giannis. You've seen it before with, of course, LeBron. And yeah, maybe like an all-around game like LeBron. No one's going to have a game like LeBron.
I think
it's what makes it special. But LeBron will never have a game like this, like with all the threes. It's just different style of it.
I think what's different about the LeBron game, and it's not to take away from these guys, and I would throw in Giannis's 50 points in game 6.
Yeah, most definitely.
It didn't happen against a contemporary. It wasn't like, damn, LeBron's going against the Warriors. Like, this is the team, you know? Maybe if this was like against, say the Nets were full strength and it was Kyrie, Harden, whatever, KD, and Curry had a game, it would be like, I just feel like the only thing missing from Steph's game, and it was still an amazing game, was just if it happened against like the team. You know what I mean? Like, it was a rival team. It was like, damn, because I don't feel like Boston is that. Like, nobody's like, damn, this Boston team's so fucking great.
I mean, I kind of disagree. Like, you can go on and on. It can be an opinion based on if the Celtics are good or not. I'm not talking about that, but just alone doing it in a place like Boston. It's not even like he's doing it in Toronto or Dallas or even Cleveland in that fucking aspect. He's doing this in Boston, one of the most historic places
to play
a basketball
game.
The
Boston aspect of where it is plays into it. I'm just saying, I feel like that's what kind of separates it for me. Of like, this, to me, this was like a great performance. I wouldn't say it's like, I wouldn't put it up there in my book, and it's no disrespect to Steph Curry. It's just I wouldn't put it up there with like the flu game or LeBron like game 7 or game 6. That's just me, and I feel like That's just I feel like this Boston team's funky one. Like I know they're in the finals. I know they've put up a fight, but I still feel like if you ask me, do you think Milwaukee's a better team when healthy? I'd say yeah, absolutely they are.
Milwaukee, most definitely, without having Chris Middleton, that definitely showed.
I
But
mean, this shit matters, bro. And like the Warriors, like we talked about in the preview, strength in numbers. I want to ask you this about Andrew Wiggins one because I feel like this game was the Andrew Wiggins game more than it was
yeah,
anyone else's
most
game.
definitely.
So if we look back at the Warriors, Harrison Barnes was there. He was pretty good for them. So is Wiggins between KD and Barnes, or would you still think Barnes was a better fit? Because they're all playing that role. Like KD took that role nuclear, where it's like we have a forward who can defend. Like Kevin Durant on the Warriors was like they put him in a 3-and-D player. They made him in like a 3-and-D role, but it was like a superstar. I feel like Wiggins is a really good 3-and-D guy, but it's also like, damn, his pedigree shows where it's like, man,
Yeah,
he hit a step back jump shot. And whether you like it or not, the dude was a bust for Minnesota. He did not change the franchise going into it with the expectations around the guy.
I
Doesn't mean
wouldn't
he's a
say
bad
bust. I
player.
would I would say he
Oh,
was
you on
overdrafted.
fucking drugs. Don't
He
start with
was
this shit where there's
overdrafted.
no such thing as a bust. He didn't
No,
change the
I would
franchise.
say
Well, you
I
got guys like me and you talking about tank for Wiggins after
no,
one
most
fucking
definitely.
game with
Look,
Kansas.
the hype was at an all-time high, but it's not like he was a complete waste. It was
No,
just
just it didn't change
he
the
was
franchise.
overdrafted. He
Yeah,
was overdrafted.
for the Wolves, it didn't work out. There's no debating that. It didn't work
Yeah,
out with him. But when he's like your fourth best player, you're like, damn, Wiggins is pretty good for your
most
fourth
definitely.
best player. And you know what's
Yeah.
impressed me more one than like the scoring and shit, because he's always had the potential to score. His fucking rebounding. 15 in game 4. So what's 13 tonight?
Yeah.
That just shows you have heart. And I'm pretty sure they were like, hey, we're at a rebounding disadvantage. We got Robert Williams, who's been good in this series. Al Horford is a big guy. Wiggins has helped out tremendously. Like,
Right.
Obviously Curry's the MVP for the Warriors, but wouldn't Wiggins come in second right now?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just it's a close one, bro, because Wiggins, he played a superstar caliber type game tonight, and he showed why he went number 1. Like, these are the flashes, but for him to have the games that he's had in this series is just sometimes it's unacceptable. Like
Yeah.
the no-shows, So I get you in that aspect. Like, it's been Curry or bust really for the Warriors, but I would say this, Max, just to go on a little bit more of the bust conversation. I think there's a huge difference between Anthony Bennett the bust, and then if you want to
Yes,
call Andrew Wiggins the bust.
one is like an all-time bust. Even a Kwame Brown bust is different than like say what you want about Kwame Brown. I hated the guy on the Lakers. Played in the league 10 years. He has some talent. There are busts that are bigger than others. Like Bennett, number 1. Don't argue with me. He's the worst first pick in NBA history. Wiggins, he had more hype coming out than Bennett. Everyone knew who Wiggins was, and he was good for Timberwolves, but it doesn't cut it when you're supposed to be a LeBron type of game-changing guy, and he wasn't that. But he's done an excellent job in his role. He's like a superstar role player where it's like, damn, he's like overqualified for his job right now.
Yeah, most definitely. And that's why he fits so perfect with this Warriors team. And that's why the Warriors are so fucking smart and on and on and on. But I would say this, Max, a guy that I know we're going way off topic, but do you think Kyrie Irving would have turned into Andrew Wiggins if LeBron never showed up to Cleveland?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so? You think he's just so much better?
Yeah, I think he's way better. I mean, I know Wiggins started the fucking All-Star game this year. That was a joke. But Kyrie's skill set is like transcendent for what it is. Wiggins was like, I'm not really the guy. Like, he doesn't have the alpha.
Maybe you never see that, though. Maybe you never see that with LeBron. I know it's a lot of ifs right here, but
yeah, I mean, think like, let's just say like Curry, it was Curry and Wiggins. Like, that was the two. There was no Clay. There was no one else. You're like, fuck, where's Wiggins? Like, he vanished again. I mean, there was a time where I remember we talked about this on a failed podcast stuff we don't want to talk about. We talked about when the Timberwolves played Minnesota. Was Minnesota versus Denver, the first playing game, technically, because it was like the 82nd game of the season just worked out.
It was like a football version, like last week. last game of the
It was
season.
Raiders and Chargers, but
Right,
no
right.
tie, whatever.
Yeah.
We're like, we didn't see Andrew Wiggins for 30 fucking minutes of that game. He did
Right.
not do anything.
Right.
That's defined him. Of
Yeah.
I am the most streaky, not streaky guy. Where remember there'd be the 3 weeks of fucking Wiggins is that guy. Here he comes, and it's like, oh, it died out.
Yeah.
So what they've done is they say, hey, we need you to do two things: shoot, defend, sometimes score. And when he can
You
just
know what
simplify
though?
that, he looks good.
No, most definitely. And I think another big improvement from him, which it's been known by the Timberwolves that they try to get this guy committed to this side of basketball, is rebounding. He had 15 rebounds in game 4,
Yeah,
which was
huge.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's a guy like him that's super athletic and doesn't have the best jumper. He's not the most like offensive
Well,
gifted
I would say
player.
this: he
You
might
need to
not
be
be
able
a.
to do other things.
He's not really a freak athlete, but he can freaky jump. Like he's got one of the
Yeah,
best verts in the NBA.
yeah.
And for him not to be able to rebound with his leaping ability made no sense. It's
Right.
just a want to.
That was his career high in any game, not a playoff game, in any game.
Yeah, and it just showed like, hey, he's always been a guy that lets the ball come to him. Now he's going up and getting the ball. And so to answer my question, you think he's a step up from like the Harrison Barnes?
Of course, I think he's way above Harrison Barnes. I would
When he
take Andrew
was
Wiggins any day of the
when
week.
he was on the Warriors, I mean, not.
Yeah, when he was on the Warriors, because
I think it's
Harrison
really close,
Barnes.
but man, I don't know because Barnes developed later. Like after he left, he's like Harrison Barnes has been in Sacramento for 3 years, so no one gives a shit. But he
Yeah.
just steadily put up 25, like 20 points a game, and just shoots threes in defense. I don't know, man. I feel like they just seamlessly built this team back up because 2 years ago we were making fun of them. Like everyone was talking shit because I mean, they talked a lot of shit, right? And then they were at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
And Draymond Green had triple singles instead of triple doubles. And I know he's gotten a lot of hate this series one, but they're one game away from winning the finals with the way he's played. So
One game away. And let's keep a little bit more on the Warriors. Well, don't worry, Laker fans and Celtic fans out there. We'll get into the fucking Celtics in a bit, but I want to stick on the Warriors a little bit more. Klay Thompson, I thought even though the box score might not show it, I thought he hit some humongous threes tonight when things were not going for the Warriors. And I think it's just that I would call it like pedigree that Klay Thompson has. It's like, he's not the same Klay, but it's like, fuck, dude, he's so valuable to have on your team because he can still simply just shoot. Like he's Klay Thompson at the end of the day.
he
And
was sorry,
it
go
was
on.
great to see. No, it
He was
was
one of
great to
three
see, dude.
Warriors to make a three tonight. Clay, Gary
Yeah.
Payton, and Poole. And I agree with you. There was a third quarter lull for the Warriors where it was like they came out and got stomped. Was it 10-0 run real quick by
Yeah.
Boston? And then Clay hit that 1-footed jumper, and you're like, damn, that was they needed that. And then I felt like he kind of brought them back. I mean, he made 5 out of the 9 threes. So without him tonight, they're gonna lose this freaking game. And I think he's been solid. I still feel like one. Maybe you tell me if I'm wrong. You see parts where you're like, the old Clay probably would have made that shot. I feel like anytime he dribbles and does that little lean back shot, he just shoots it so flat now because his like legs are gone.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not game 6 Clay. Watch out for that on Thursday. But game 5 Clay showed up today. He was pretty good, man. I can't lie. And do you think that Pool shot like kind of like started the swing stuff at the end of the third
Oh
quarter?
my God. Yeah.
I feel like that's so deflating. You're like, fuck this guy.
That's just it's a boost for the Warriors crowd, bro. Like when that guy makes a shot in general, they go absolutely berserk. And the fact that it was a buzzer beater, it was just, man, like we're struggling this quarter, but this shot, like that was
It was like,
the
damn. It
the
was like,
starter, dude.
remember the Lakers 2000, like Brian Shaw hits a shot right before the fourth quarter, like a big three. And it's like, damn, we got some life now.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Warriors took that and ran with it. And I feel like maybe the last guy we should talk about was Gary Payton II, man. I'm so happy for that guy. I remember telling you on the Lakers, I'm like, I hope we keep this guy.
Yeah.
He's their Caruso, basically. He's their lefty Caruso. And he just does all the little dirty work, and it shows why guys like that should have a role in the NBA and why teams like the Lakers, who didn't have that guy all year, needed that guy.
The biggest plus minus out of any Warrior, plus 16. That's, I
He was
mean,
good tonight, man. He had like what, 15 points or something? So if you get 6
6 out of
points out
8.
of him, you're happy.
And then on the
MJ.
defensive end, he brings it, like you said.
Yeah.
Like Draymond continuing to struggle. You hit it right on the nose in the preview, talking about, I don't think this guy's going to make over 2 threes at the most.
I don't think he's
think
made
he's made a
one.
single 3.
I'm
Yeah.
fucking feeling great. I mean, let's see. Maybe he's going for like 6. You know, he's got to make one. I thought he made that one in the corner. He was like, he's like, oh, I got it. And it was a fucking brick. I think, is that like a sign you're really bad at shooting when you're like, oh, yeah, that's it. Brick.
Right.
Oh, come on, Draymond.
What did you think, Max, the game 4 when Steve Kerr sat Draymond Green?
I think it was a smart move because whether you hate him or love him, there's obvious flaws in him. And I think with him and Looney on the court, it makes the offense so freaking difficult. And I feel like that's not really going to get talked about this series, how Kerr's kind of gone away from both of them on the court at the same time. There's still moments, but they changed the starting lineup just like they did with Iguodala when they were starting Bogut that one year. Yeah. They put Iguodala in there and they took off. And it was a smart move by Steve. Like, how can anyone criticize it? It was Hall of Famer. How can you do that to him? Well, it fucking worked, bro. And yeah. He's not playing that great. And as good as Boston is defensively, you've got to put some offense out there. And for everyone wondering, well, where was this Draymond with KD? He's always been this bad. But when you have 3 of the greatest shooters right next to him, and then a 4th one who's pretty good, he gets covered up a little bit more. So now he's getting exposed. You know what I mean?
Hey, right now he's just flat out overthinking some stuff though. Like he knows he's not playing all that well. I thought
just the spotlight's brighter now because he kind of has to contribute more. Like when KD, Steph, and Clay, you don't have to really score ever. But now that
should we just call that? Should we just call that Wighins syndrome? Just like
he got a little Wighins in him right now, Draymond, and like he's passing up wide open layups, trying to get fancy. I thought he had some good energy tonight. I know he only had 6 points, but like that dunk, like he was kind of more engaged.
Yeah, look, I absolutely love that move by Steve Kerr, and not only was it smart, Max, it took big fucking balls,
cojones on Steve Kerr.
Yes, like how many coaches in the league would have done that?
And especially a guy like Draymond, dude, who know can kind of turn like pissed off in a minute. Like, okay, I'm not saying Draymond's AB, but look what fucking AB did when they were like, "Hey, bro, like you're done." He's like, "I'm out." I'm like,
yeah. Look, I think every player of that caliber is gonna get angry, and I've heard Draymond's podcast and he was saying, look, I was pissed off in the moment. I gave him the fucking Kobe dead-eye look and my teammates got me up. But what I circle back to is like, fuck, I would have loved to see them lose that game and really see his reaction.
Oh, man, like, he would have
fortunately enough. I know. Yeah. Fortunately enough, they won the game. And that's why Steve Kerr is one of these coaches with big fucking balls and he's smart as shit. And you take risk at the right moments. And it's just, it's what makes him great. And I can probably only name about 4 other coaches in the league that would have done that. Like, I know definitely Popovich would have did that.
Vogel.
Nick Nurse. Do you think Vogel?
Hell no, that motherfucker gone.
Come on. Yeah, look,
he tried to do it to Russ. He did it to Russ a couple games.
You know what? Part of it though, Max, part of it though is probably not even the coach really. It's part of the ownership.
Oh, because yeah.
Frank Vogel aspect. It's like, why are you gonna bench a guy like this? Blah blah blah. You got to earn your stripes. EYS. Steve Kerr has a lot of stripes to fucking give away. Is he right
properly rated as like an elite coach? I feel like he's not talked about enough. Almost Steve Kerr, because I feel like so many people.
Of these coaches.
I feel like so many people when KD went there were like, oh, he's going to win. It doesn't matter. But it's like, no, it still takes a good coach to fucking win a championship because A bad coach could derail it. Whether you like to admit it or not, Boston fans, that last year with Kyrie, Brad Stevens didn't do that great of a job. He did not manage the personalities. And I know Kyrie's special. He's kind of an asshole. But that's part of coaching is
How big
doing
how big of a percentage, Max, do you think for NBA coaches it matters? What's the percentage?
for what? Like
Like for
managing
win for
personalities?
just winning basketball games. How much of a percentage would you give of how much a coach really matters in the NBA?
40%? 30?
I would have thought you went a little bit lower, but
I'm not
yeah.
like Shaq's like fucking
I mean, it's not
0%.
football. It's not
No,
football.
no.
I think football's a lot higher.
First of all, an NBA head coach has like 10 things to deal with, and a football coach has a fucking like 1,000, has like 8 people talking in his ear at the same time. Look, Shaq's on drugs. It takes a good coach to win a basketball game. It takes like you can have the best players, and if you have like that's what I always think about. It's like when you think about guys who make your own, like say when you ask guys to make their like top 5 teams,
Yeah.
half the time the team makes no fucking sense. It's
Right.
like, yeah, you have really great players, but I don't think Shaq and Wilt are going to be great together running 2 fucking, what are you going to do? Have them both on each block?
Yeah. The
So,
best ones are like when you pair up Kobe and AI.
yeah, those guys fucking great. Yeah, makes sense. And, this is a sidebar. I've been really thinking about like my top 5 team, and I really think Klay Thompson's like my 2 guard on my top 5 team. That's a side note.
You
I've just been
love
thinking about
getting
that.
Clay. I know that.
Klay's a great guy.
Um,
But it just makes no sense. Like, what if Ime Udoka was like, let's fucking play Robert Williams 48 minutes tonight, boy. Let's do it.
right.
I think Neesmith's looking good. Throw him in there 10 minutes. Like, I think the margin's so thin with this series. Like, a guy like Belizzi, I can't say his name on the podcast, but Belizzi, yeah, if he plays 10 minutes, it's like, fuck, we're done.
Right.
It can happen that quick, man. Especially with these teams. They get hot.
And you got to be able, you just got to be able to pivot, dude. I think that's one of the big things that I've been seeing in just coaching in general when it comes down to an NFL and NBA. It's always been like this with football a little bit more for the last like 10 years, but I've seen the last 2 years to be very specific in these finals with Milwaukee and with the Warriors and Celtics.
I mean, even the Lakers.
It's just been.
Even the Lakers here? You don't think Vogel made an adjustment every freaking series where he was like on the fly?
Yeah, every series, but I think there's not really Vogel, I would say not as much because he went into the series with that mindset. Like every series was different. You're playing the Rockets, small ball. I get that. But I think trying to switch up your philosophy like game in and game out, like you go in with a philosophy game 1, it doesn't work and you got to scrap everything up and you got to come with a whole new aspect. That's what I see from these coaches from the last 2 years, especially with Mike Budenholzer and Steve Kerr. Like these guys are constantly pivoting.
I agree with you with the Steve Kerr. Budenholzer, I still think about all those fucking possessions I saw against the Nets where it was one dribble, Giannis 3, and I was like, what am I freaking watching?
Part of that was fucking Giannis going fucking nuts.
Yeah, I mean, that game, I think it was like 10% coaching. It was like Giannis was like, all right, hop on the back.
Even Max, when it's like, okay, Brook Lopez works this game, but he doesn't work the next game.
Yeah, it's a Bobby Portis type of game. That's important when it comes to. And Juan, if you're Boston's coach, what are you telling your guys right now? You're down 3-2. You felt really good after 3 games. You're up 2-1. Now you've lost 2 in a row.
Look, this Boston team is fucking weird, dude. And I honestly think they're better than the Warriors. I truly believe that. From top to bottom, I really do think that. I think the only disadvantage that they really have is that Curry is better than Tatum, in my opinion.
And also, Tatum hasn't been playing his best. Like
he hasn't been playing his
Game 6 in Milwaukee. He hasn't been that good this series.
Right. He hasn't been playing his best, Max. Of course, from the shooting standpoint, he hasn't been putting up the big points, but I really do think he's been affecting the game. He
absolutely, yeah. When I say he's not playing his best, I don't mean he's playing bad. His good is better than 80% of the league.
Yeah,
but for that game 6 was like the culmination of like scoring, passing, defending, and we haven't seen that from him. And I don't want to be that guy, but like, bro, you need to step up right now for your team. And Jaylen Brown was bad today. He didn't shoot the ball particularly well.
Yeah.
5 turnovers. I mean,
I think the most glaring stat for tonight too, Max, is that the Celtics had 31 free throws. They missed 10 of them. They went 21 of 31 at the free throw line. You can't do that.
they shot double the free throws the Warriors shot. And
yeah,
I mean, who shot badly from there? Tatum was 2 for 6. Yeah, everyone else just kind of missed one. I mean, that's not terrible, but 10 points off the board, it always adds up. Warriors shot what, 90%? Yeah, 86%.
And they lost by 10.
Yeah. I truly think if I'm Boston, I'm a little like,
I'm worried now.
Fire to the ass, bro.
Yeah, right now I'm worried. Look, I picked Boston in 6. I'm definitely worried. I thought they should have won this game. They had it. They had a chance. Curry has a bad game like this. You gotta take advantage of it.
That's what I was saying. Like, if you're Boston and I'm like, yo, Curry's gonna have a game where he doesn't make a 3, and it's like, how much do you win by? 20?
Right.
That's bad, man. And I mean, what's the formula for them to win? Is it like, I know they didn't shoot the ball particularly well. Is it just Tatum needs to play better, Brown needs to play better, slow down Curry?
Yeah, those two guys definitely need to play better, because I think a lot of guys have cooled off, like Derek White, Grant Williams.
Oh yeah, Derek White is come crashing back down to fucking earth.
It's terrible. It's fucking terrible. And going into the series, I think that was one of the big reasons why I picked Boston, is that I kind of trusted a lot of more of these guys going into the series. And granted, look, this is a Celtics team that has had Grant Williams and Derek White play big in these playoff series. You look at the game 7 from Grant Williams, it's like, okay, like he's been showing up. He brings defense. He's been shooting the shots. I'm like, I trust that more than a Jordan Poole, an Andrew Wiggins, guys who can fucking be an absolute zero in the game. You're like, did you fucking play tonight? Where the fuck were you? And those guys have just showed up a lot more. Jordan Poole has had his struggles, but he's had his moments. Where's Grant Williams' moments? None. I haven't seen it. No. Derek White, he hasn't showed up since game 1. He thought it was a 1-game series, and he was out.
He kind of was, man. I mean, look, if you're a Boston fan, you're thrilled with White. What did he shoot like? He shot great for 6 straight games or something when his kid was born, and then that shit wore off. But look, I just want to say one thing, Juan, and you tell me if I'm wrong. If I'm Boston fans, listen to me. I hate you guys with a passion, but I mean this in the truest way. You gotta seize this moment. This team like the championship window's now. I know Tatum and Brown are young. If time's taught us one thing, Juan, that window shuts, and it shuts quick, and it's fucked. Go Oklahoma City would have said they were going to go to 8 finals. They went to 1. So don't think this year doesn't matter. We'll just be back next year, because you might not be. Because next year, what if Jaylen Brown sprains his MCL in round 2? Oh, shit, we're out that year. Oh, damn, Tatum tore his ACL. Oh, shit, this year's done too. Man, Brown and Tatum don't get along anymore.
Like the Suns. Oh, shit, DeAndre Ayton's not playing that good. Oh, shit, we got fucking waxed by the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, we're about to get rid of Ayton. We're going to sign and trade him. Chris Paul's 37.
That quick.
Closes quick unless, and I mean this in the serious way, you have a top 3 player in the league. That window gets open if you got LeBron or a Giannis. I mean, I don't really know if there's maybe a Curry. We'll throw Curry in there.
Yeah. And look, as great as Tatum has been, Max, and it's so weird with these guys, because you see these moments, especially with Jaylen Brown too, both of these guys, you see these moments and like, Jesus Christ, like these guys are fucking good. You have 40-point games, you have 50-point games, but I think this is why me and you are always fucking on a teeter-totter with these fuckers. It's like, dude, like this is the moment and you guys are not delivering. And it's why, like, me and you have had such a problem with anointing, like, Jason Tatum already. You know, like, some people, like, we really talked about it last season in the podcast, how we're like, why is everyone crowning Tatum already, like, as the best small forward in the league?
Well, people were crowning Giannis after he won his first MVP, and then Kawhi flexed and was like, no, sir.
Right.
You don't belong here yet. And I think even if you asked Giannis, he'd be like, I had to get better. And then
Right.
against the Nets, after 2 games, me and you were like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And then after that, he was like, oh shit, I'm bigger than everybody. I got it. And he figured it out on the fly. And he did that, and he won a finals, and he shut us up, man. It's like, there ain't nothing wrong with anointing guys after they proved you wrong. Like, I'd rather always
Right.
be the guy who was a little late than a little early. It's like, wow. People claimed we're like crowning Tatum after his second year, after his first year, and we're like, hey, worked out with Kobe, he's fucking there. And it was like, wow, I had a
Right.
horrible season.
Yeah.
It's just, it's
No.
not that easy, bro, to be a top 5 player every year, in and out and in and out. And I mean, so many people going back to that guy we hate in Philadelphia, Harden. Harden's the truth. Has never proved it once, yo.
Yeah.
Not
And look,
one time.
and the series is not over. Because look, in the preview, I said this myself. I said if Tatum winds up winning this series and is a champion, he's gonna be the best small forward. But for that to happen, you have to play good. The Celtics are not gonna win this series with him continuing to play like this. And I know he's been affecting the game in different ways. It's not like he's been playing horrible, but we haven't had that game, Max, where it's like, okay, we got the Tatum game. We got the 40. We got the 50 piece. We got the imposing your will and the I don't give a fuck what you guys do tonight. I'm on fire. I'm scoring 45 and we're winning.
Yeah, and Lisa Salters asked him, like, are you frustrated you haven't had your finals game? He's like, no, it'll come. And it's like, dude, if you don't have that big game and you never get back here, you're always going to think, like, damn, like, I left something out there.
Yeah.
And I like Tatum. As much as I hate the Celtics, I think Tatum's a great player. He really showed me something this year. Or
Yeah.
he might be a top 10 player in the NBA if you, like, do everything right. And, dude, you should never think you're going to go back to the finals, because you could ask Shaq with Orlando. Doesn't always happen like that.
Yeah. We'll see, man. Knowing our fucking luck, Tatum's gonna have a 45-point game in the next game, and they tie up the series. I'm pushing for 7. I want 7. I want to be able to watch a game on Sunday on Father's Day and watch the game 7.
The last Father's Day game, I think, was Game 7 Cavs, right?
Yeah,
Against
it was
Warriors.
great, and it was great. It was absolutely fantastic. Hopefully we get a series like that, man. Anything else on the Warriors? Anything else on the Celtics, Max?
I need Andrew Wiggins to score 60 so he wins Finals MVP. No, I think Curry is doing it when it counts, man. It's been nice to see the guy finally kind of have a really good finals. And people are gonna get mad I said that, but it's his team. There's no KD to lean on. There's no one else. Like, when he was winning finals, they were supremely over the top on the Cavs.
You didn't have to.
Yeah, he could have played bad and they won. He can't play bad anymore, really. He has to play good. They don't win Game 4 if he doesn't put up a great performance that he did.
Yeah. And we'll see what the Celtics do on, what is
Thursday.
it, Wednesday?
Thursday. I think it's Thursday. I'll check real quick. Hey, real quick, can we talk about, do you think the 2-3-2 should be brought back?
I don't think so.
I just think it's stupid they have 2 extra cross-country flights.
Yeah, it is tough.
That's what I was thinking about. I was just like, if it's Texas and Boston, it's like a 2-hour flight, no big deal. But, like, it's a 6-hour flight.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I always felt like the 3 back-to-back-to-back was super fucking advantage. I always felt like that.
It was. And you know what? I've become a fan of Draymond Green's podcast. I've been listening to it a lot. And he was talking about this. And he was saying from a player's aspect, he said when you're a team like the Warriors or the San Antonio Spurs, you go into the series as a vet, and the reason why you're a vet is because you're familiar with things. You know how things work. And he said when you change up the format, that gives that team a disadvantage when you're used to something and it winds up changing. So it's like keep things familiar so the experienced teams can have that advantage. And I completely agree with them because it's the same thing throughout the playoffs. So it's like, why should it change just for the finals? And I get it. The schedule fucking sucks. Like you're traveling East Coast to fucking West Coast. That's how it is this year. And I think that's just how it goes. And they've been having the 2 days off. I think they've been doing it just fine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want them to switch it.
No, I agree. I thought it was just a little interesting because it's like, damn, they have to fly like
Yeah.
3 extra times just because of how stupid like the conferencing. I mean, not stupid, just how like stupid long it is across the country. You know?
Yeah. I mean, they were used to going to fucking Cleveland, going and San Francisco before. So
That's true. I
it's a
mean,
little
let's do.
different.
How about 3-3-1? Be cool.
3-3-1. That would be fucking nuts.
That'd be so weird. Just that like one game at like, and then the one game's like a neutral site if they're like the same record or something. Do you know what's what's freaking crazy? That I can't believe the NBA used to have like 5-game series. Though that seems like so strange to me.
That is crazy. I don't really like 5-game series.
I feel like it's just so fluky. Like, damn, like all you have to do, like especially with threes now, there'd be like a team that should be like, I'm gonna shoot like 100 threes. Fuck it, maybe we'll win 2 games.
Yeah, it's hard to win a 7-game series in basketball, dude.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna ask you. I'm sorry. Do you think this is going back to your thing about like the vets know it, so it gives kind of gives them an advantage? Do you think a team that's been to the Super Bowl has a better advantage just because they know how like the halftime is and shit compared to a team that just went like it's a first time team?
I do think so.
Like
I
a
do
slight?
think so. Slightly, because I think the Baltimore. I'm forgetting the story right now, but I think Baltimore kind of had that aspect to them. The year
during
when,
like the blackout.
yeah, something happened. I forgot what Ray Lewis said when he was like, it didn't really affect us that much because some other situation popped up.
He's 100% full of shit because as soon as that blackout happened, they got fucking waxed for like a quarter and a half. So sorry, Ray, bullshit. Didn't really affect us. We were only up 21
and won
points.
the game.
Yeah. I was just thinking because I was thinking about when the Eagles went against the Patriots, who've been there like 6 times.
Yeah.
But the only thing about football is there's so many guys who get to experience it. Like, how many times does a team go back with everybody? You know what I mean? It's always like some first-time guys.
So much turnover.
I just remember Alshon Jeffrey being like, I don't even know why we at this shit. Should have just stayed in Philly.
Yeah, exactly. If that was the case, dude, the fucking Chiefs will be Super Bowl champs almost every year after the first one. I cannot wait for football, man. Oh my god.
There it is. All right, wrap it up.
Max, so while that we're on the pod, I want to ask you this question. Are we gonna do any draft content?
NBA?
On the NBA?
Yeah, I guess. I know that first round's a really big
special spectacle.
Oh yeah, they're all fucking special.
I do like more than
no, I think it'd be cool. I mean, I just feel like I don't know. Maybe it's because we gotten older. The NFL draft just really is special, and the NBA draft is such like an afterthought. Man, they try to make it cool with the lottery and shit. Like, how cool is the NFL draft? The first round, like at a 1 to 10 scale.
Oh my god, 10.
What's the NBA lottery at? Like a 8?
Fucking 1.
Like, okay, what's cooler? Like the 20th pick in the first round, or the first the lottery?
I'll say the first in the lottery.
So like what pick is the first NBA pick cooler than in the NFL? Like 10?
10. Yeah.
That's like that's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah.
That's like 2 hours just to get to 10.
But on a side note, I did hear it's a really great draft and there's a lot of players coming out. Your boy Chet Holmgren, see where he goes.
I love that guy, man. OKC to my boy Isaiah. Have fun with him.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see who we get on the pod. We'll talk about it. But I think that's gonna do it, guys, for this episode. We appreciate you guys tuning in with us. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel. Hit that like button. Comment down below whatever you guys think of the finals. Do you guys think the Celtics are gonna win? You guys think the Warriors are gonna win? Comment down below any of your thoughts. Max, any last words?
It's nice to be back. It's nice to not be a caveman.
All right, we are out. Peace.